Good afternoon or good evening, whatever time it may be where you are. Welcome to Be Creative. Today we're going to make a really cute craft. Hang on, I'm just going to get my camera adjusted a little bit. We're making a really cute craft that I think is good for almost any age. Kids could do this, younger kids with some supervision, probably by age 9 or 10. They could handle it. Be a great craft for a youth group or for a grandma to do with her grandchildren, mom to do with her kids, or just for anybody to do. Today we're going to make the cutest little hootie owl out of very simple materials. So I'm first going to start by telling you the materials you're going to need to make this cute little owl, and then we're going to make one together. So you can use an old pair of jeans or an old pair of corduroy pants. So this is corduroy if you can't tell. Denim or corduroy I think would be the two best. And so you need an old pair of pants. It's okay to cut up. You need yourself 2 different colors of felt that you think go nicely with whatever type of pants you choose, denim or corduroy. The corduroy is going to be the body of the little hootie owl, and then the felt is going to be wings, eyes, and tummy of your little owl. You also need, it's your choice, you can do jiggly eyes if you prefer, and kids might like that better, or you could do buttons. So I'm going to do two kind of cream colored buttons for eyes. You need, they call this baker's twine. Comes in different colors, like I'll show you another one. So you need either baker's twine and that coordinates, or you could use regular twine, whichever you prefer. You're going to need some fiber fill for his tummy, and you're going to need either some dry beans or rice, and that's just going to give a little weight to his bottom so that he sits up nicely and doesn't tip over. If you want, you can have a tape measure handy, or you can eyeball things like I do. And the only other things you will need are a pair of scissors, hot glue gun with glue sticks. This is where, if kids are doing it, a little supervision comes in handy. Then you need 2 circles. One circle that's about 1 3/4 to 2 inches, and then another one that's 1 inch. And a pop cap is the perfect size for 1 inch to trace. This can be anything. This is a frog like that you put in the bottom of a vase for flowers, but it's just something I had that was the right size. So 1 3/4 to 2 inches, and then a 1 inch circle, because these, you're going to trace these to make your eyes. So I'll show you. I've traced out, these are my little eyes that I used the bottle cap for. And we're just going to work on our pieces here slowly. And I'll set them aside. Then here is the circle, 2 circles. This is the outer part of his eye. And I want to show you what you need to do to the circles. You need to cut little slits, about 1/4 inch, little slits all the way around this circle. So I didn't do it on this one yet, and we're going to do it on this one so you can see. You're not going to be able to see me, but you can see what I'm doing here. It's just really simple. You don't have to measure. You don't have to be precise. Just little snips. You don't go all the way into the circle. Just keep snipping and spinning all the way around. Doesn't matter if some of them are wider, some of them are skinnier. That doesn't really matter. Okay, so there I've done all my snips. So I have 2 big circles, 2 small circles of different colors. That's his eyes, and then our buttons. So we have his eyes all taken care of. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get you guys the best view of this situation. Now we have to cut out his tummy, which the shape needs to be this. It's basically an oval with a flat bottom. Very simple way to do this. Take your felt, fold it in half, and it's going to look too skinny, but you have to remember it's doubled. So fold it in half about, I'd say, inch and a half. And then you're going to cut your little tummy shape out of here. And I leave the bottom straight and then just go up. I don't measure. I just go until I think it looks about high enough. That's about 4 inches. And then just round it off like that. And there's his tummy. So now we have his tummy cut out. Then the next thing we're going to need to do is he needs a couple little wings. And the wings need to be like the shape of a teardrop. These are about 3.5 inches tall. Again, every single one can be different. If you're doing it with kids, maybe you trace out the shapes so that they have a template. If you're a big person and you trust yourself, just freehand, like I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to cut out 2 teardrops. Doesn't take a very big piece of felt. We're going to fold it in half. Now we've got our felt in half. And I'm just going to freehand what I think a teardrop shape looks like. It goes kind of round and then it goes to a point. Then I'm going to flip it upside down. And I'm going to go from that point around. Ta-da! See? And they're different than these. But that's okay. This one's straighter. This has got a little more curve. It doesn't matter. So now we have cut out for our little hootie owl 2 wings, which are just 2 teardrops. We have basically an oval with a flat bottom or something that looks like a tall slice of bread for his tummy. 2 larger circles that are going to be 1 3/4 to 2 inches with our little slits all the way around. That's part of his eye. 2 tiny circles out of a different color of felt. Same, and you can trace a bottle cap for these. 2 buttons or 2 jiggly eyes for the inside of his eyes. So we're going to set our tracing things out of the way and our beans out of the way. Now, here we go. I am going to move this so that you guys can see a little better, hopefully. You don't really need to see me, but you need to see what I'm doing. So here we have our pant leg that we've cut out. It needs to be about 1 foot long. So again, you can eyeball it or you can use a ruler and make sure you're about 1 foot long. First thing you're going to do is turn your pant leg inside out. This is a no-sew craft. The raw edge is going to be the top. And the bottom edge, where the hem is going to be the bottom. So all we need to do is curl back the bottom, and right here, you're going to draw a line of hot glue, and then you're going to sandwich it closed. So be careful with hot glue, and if you're doing this with little kids or younger children, please make sure you give them some assistance. You could use a low temp glue gun with younger kids if you want extra safety. And then you just smush it together. See? We've sewn it together. Now, there's got to be a better way to do this. Hang on a minute. I'm going to rotate you, I think. I'm going to make everybody dizzy. Sorry. Oh, that's a mucho better, I think, for your viewing pleasure. Let's see see if we can make that work. Let's see if we can make this work, because now you can see me and the pants. So this is the one we've glued together. It doesn't take long for that hot glue to dry. So once you've done it, you're going to turn the pant leg back out the right way. Push out your corners, your bottom. See, and we've made a little seam, and we haven't even sewn anything. See our seam? Just with hot glue. Now, I think it's easiest to decorate the dude after you stuff him, because then you have a better idea of where to put his body parts, because they all turn out a little different. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some beans in his bottom. I would estimate for this size guy about a cup of beans, maybe a little less. You can get dried pinto beans or rice at the dollar store or the grocery store. I'm going to pinch the bag like right here in half. That looks like about a cup. And I'm just going to dump them in. So there, we've dumped in about half a bag. And you can already see it stands up, which is nice. So we got our beans in his bottom. Now we take our fiber fill. And depending on the width of the leg of your pants you choose, you may use more or less fiber fill. You want to push the fiber fill kind of down into the corners a little bit, just like stuffing a pillow, really. And you want him filled about to the top. I think that's good. Squeeze him a little. Just play around with it until you get him kind of where you like him. All right, this is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing, is putting the finish seam on him. You're going to tuck your edges down. When you tuck your edges down, I'm going to turn it, hang on. When you go like this and tuck your edges down and pull, see how it tucks your raw edges in and makes them line up? See that? This is where kiddos will need a little help too. So tuck your edges in and then pull. And that usually will give you kind of what looks like a finished seam. Keep pinched on one side, open the other side, put a little line of glue, and then do it again. And squeeze. This is the trickiest part. And probably you should lay it, I'm trying to do it backwards so that you can see. Lay it down so that you can get your glue on it. So I'm going to try to do this backwards so that you guys can see how to do it. And you can add more glue after you've done your first close up. Pull it like that. Doesn't matter. I've got a little glue on the outside. That doesn't matter. Pull. Press it down. So your glue, until your glue holds. And, like see mine, I missed some gaps. There's some gaps. So, just once you've got it started, that's the hardest part. Then you can go back into those little holes that didn't quite pinch together tight and add more glue and just pinch. And I just work my way down until I don't have any little gaps where like my stuffing can come out. My glue gun is wicked hot. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of it. I have a glue gun that you can set the temperature on it, and I think I forgot how high I had it set. I have it set a little higher than I need it. And then if you've worked with hot glue before, once it cools down and you get the little stringy glops, you can pluck them off with your fingers. So now we've got basically a square weighted pillow, really. And you can see these pants, they had a little stain, a little paint on them. So I'm just going to make that the back of my owl. I bought my pants at the Goodwill, and if you watch at the Goodwill, you can get them on sale. On sale. Even not on sale, they're like $5. And out of one pair of pants, you can make 2 owls because there's 2 pant legs. So here we go. I'm going to do this upside down so you all can see. So here's the side of my hootie owl that's going to be the front. First thing you need to do is make his little ears. I'm going to use the baker's twine since it's white and blue and coordinates with my colors that I chose. Probably should have had this untangled and started. There we go. Always better to use a little more than you need. So I cut a piece about 1 foot long, and this is, you just pinch up the corners of your little pillow. Slide your string down wherever you want to. I mean, it's up to you how big you want your dude's ears, your little hootie guy's ears to be, but generally speaking, they don't have to be huge. So there's one, and then, so there's one ear. Now I'm just going to do a couple times wrapping this string around, making sure that I end up tying it in the back. Because you're going to tie it and cut the little tails off in the back so that that doesn't show. And I just tie it in a knot. Super simple so far. Baker's twine you can get at the dollar store as well. You can also get it in the baking section. Now here's what it looks like on the back. So here's my little tails. All you do is get a hold of your little tails and snip them off, but don't snip your knot. So here's my hootie owl's first little ear. Super cute little ear. Now we've got to make a second ear. Thin twine. I'm going to go around him on an angle. Hopefully we'll make both of his ears similar size. But again, this is just a fun little craft, so perfection is not needed. So there's his second ear. I'm just going to wrap around a couple times like I did on his other ear. And then I made one ear a little smaller than the other. Let me see if I can pull a little more through. We don't want him to look like he's... Wait, I haven't tied it, so I'm undoing it. I'm trying again. If first you don't succeed, then try again. I want his ears to be pretty close to the same size. I don't want him to look silly. He'll feel self-conscious if he has like a... This one's giving me troubles, people. Okay. I think that's closer. That's closer. Now I'm going to go around. Oh, every video I do, the dogs have to bark. And shh. My husband just came home. Okay. And then I snip it in the back. Now let's turn him forwards. So here's our little guy with his cute little ears. He stands up nice. Now he's ready for his body. So first I'm going to put his tummy on him. And his tummy needs to be centered. I'm going to lay him down. Smush him down a little. And I am just going to first lay my felt on him. See? And you don't want it to be up high. You want this line to be down with the bottom of your owl. So it needs to be down like this. So there's his tummy. We're going to see. Oh, I thought maybe the felt would stick and I could just show you. Stand up, guy. There's his tummy. Well, you get the idea. We're going to put his tummy on. Make sure my beans are all down and I got him as flat as I can get him. I want to make sure when he stands up, he's going to stand straight. There. That's good. All right. So the easiest way to do this is draw an outline of hot glue on the edge of your tummy piece. Dogs, I'll let you out in a minute. outline it. Careful not to grab the hot glue. We got hot glue on it. I'm going to line it up as best I can at the bottom in the center and press it on. And now we have an owl with a tummy. You can make your owl's tummy as big, as fat, as tall as you like. So what I like to do is put his tummy on, and then I like to put his eyes on. Then it helps me know where to put his wings. So for the eyes, we are going to do we have 2 shaped circles. We're going to do our largest circles first. This does not take a lot of hot glue. And usually an owl's eyes are like this, kind of close together. So all we're going to do is, I'm just going to do a little round of hot glue. Press that eye down. Little round of hot glue. Press that eye down. Give him a good push. Hot. There you go. There's his eyes. There's his tummy. Now we're going to put this little ones go in the middle. For this, I'm going to put it on the gray fabric and try to get those blue circles as close to the middle and centered as possible. Put on his other eye. Okay, so there's his felt eyes. So far, so good. Now we're going to put the buttons or the jiggly eyes, whichever you opted to do. Either will look cute. I'm going to use buttons for mine. A little dab of glue in the middle of the blue. And put on my button right in the center. Same thing with the other eye. A little dab of glue. Now, your buttons don't have to match. They can match. If you want them to be real whimsical, you don't have to have matching buttons. All right. So now, let me see here. There we go. The color got a little bright. There he is so far. He's got his little ears, his eyes, and his tummy. Now we're going to put on his wings. So we want the pointy part of the teardrop to go down. Whoop, I thought they would stick. Pointy part of the teardrop goes down and it sticks like this. So we're going to lay him. And for this, you can just outline even half of your teardrop. I'm only outlining half because I don't care if mine kind of flop around a little, like wings. And if I decide I don't like them flopping around, then I will put glue on the other side. But for right now, I'm just going to outline the inside edge of his wings. Try to make them similar. Press it, press it, press it. And here he is. Now, the one thing he is missing is his little nose, which I forgot to cut out. Just a minute. Little nose. It could be out of gray or blue or orange. And that can't be any simpler. It is just a triangle. And it goes right there. Now, let me give him a little bit of glue for his little beak. And his beak should line up and touch right underneath his eyes. Like that. You want his nose or his beak real close to his eyes. So, this is our basic little Hootie owl made from a pair of pants. You don't, if you have old pants at home, cut those up. If not, you can go to the Goodwill, find, like I said, denim or corduroy. This guy is corduroy. 2 colors of felt, baker's string or twine, some beans or rice to weight him down so he sits like this, some polyfill stuffing to fluff him up a little, buttons or jiggly eyes, and he's all set. Now, if you want to add, like if this is a little girl owl, you could tie a little ribbon and put it right here off to the side. I have, just a minute, I'm going to show you something I have. I bought at the Goodwill a felt wreath that I don't really want, but I bought it because of all the felt flowers. So if mine is a little girl, I can pull this felt flower off. This one might be too big. And put, that's too big. Let me see if there's a littler one on here. Put a little felt, oh yeah, like this. Put a little felt flower on her ear. So you can get as creative as you want. You could do another smaller teardrop shape inside this wing if you wanted. I really think you could use fabric too, other than felt. Felt is easier to work with if you're doing it with little kids. I'm trying to squish him and give him a cute little face. So there he is. Our little I don't know why the light keeps changing like that. I'm trying to get him so that you can see his true colors. Hold on. There you go. There he is. Little Hootie Owl, no sew, felt and buttons, beans, and polyfill. So thank you for joining me today at Be Creative. Please like and subscribe. That would be appreciated. And in the comments below, if you make a little Hootie Owl, put a picture in the comments below so I can see everybody's creations. Like I said, this is very basic, just so I could show you. You can get as creative as you like with patterns and colors and buttons and all that good stuff. But this is just a cute, quick little craft. I think I figured out it cost, I bought the pants for about $5 at the Goodwill, and you can make 2. So about $2.50 for the pant leg, and 2 sheets of the felt were $1, $3.50, and I had the baker's twine for string, and I have, who doesn't have old buttons? So you don't really like under $4. You got this little guy. And what I'm going to do is I bought extra, and I am going to cut out pant legs and all these pieces and have buttons and polyfill and beans. And I'm going to make little Hootie Owl kits that you can purchase. And then you just, all the work's done for you. You just have to assemble them. You would need hot glue gun. That's about it. I have the polyfill and the beans and everything in the kit for you, along with some simple instructions. And they'll be for sale at my boutique, at my booth at the Antique Boutique in Sanford. And I'll make sure to post that on my Facebook page as well. So, enjoy Hootie Owl. My guy's going to sit in my living room, I think. And always remember to be creative.